My name is Ethan Parker, and I spent 7 years working at a customer service call center in the United States. At first glance, a call center might seem like a mundane job, but for me it was a chance to create, innovate, and improve processes. From day one, I noticed inefficiencies, outdated procedures, and frustrations among my coworkers. I decided to take initiative and began creating templates, documents, and workflows to simplify tasks. Over the years, I developed 33 essential documents used across 3 different branches in 3 states. These documents weren't simple spreadsheets or Word files. They were advanced Excel sheets with formulas, automated calculations, Word templates with drop-downs, tick boxes, and sections that synced automatically. They saved time, reduced errors, and made operations smoother. I became a go-to person for training coworkers and managing document usage. I felt proud. I felt important. I believed that hard work and loyalty would eventually be recognized and rewarded. But things changed when I faced personal and emotional challenges. Anxiety, depression, and mood swings began affecting my life. I sought professional help and started seeing a psychiatrist. I informed HR, hoping for understanding. Instead, I was met with coldness and petty treatment. Managers who once praised my dedication started assigning horrible shifts, often late nights or weekends, with little regard for my health. Extra tasks were piled on me constantly. Minor mistakes were criticized harshly. One day, I was bluntly told I wouldn't get my annual raise because my work ethics had become erratic. Even though my coworkers still praised me, it was clear. The company wanted to force me out quietly to avoid paying unemployment benefits. The constant pressure began to take its toll. I developed panic attacks, sleepless nights, and constant anxiety. Every day felt heavier than the last, and I started questioning my self-worth. I felt trapped and powerless, even though I knew my contributions were critical to the company's operations. Eventually, my mental state reached a breaking point. I became suicidal, emotionally drained, and decided to check myself into a psychiatric facility for a 48-hour hold. Though I ended up staying for nearly 2 weeks due to the severity of my condition. Being in the hospital was terrifying, but also clarifying. I realized I would never return to that toxic workplace, and I needed to reclaim control over my life. While hospitalized, I started planning my revenge. I didn't want to act violently or illegally. I wanted a calculated, precise, and effective way to show the company the cost of their cruelty. I decided to focus on the 33 documents I had spent years perfecting. Before my hospital stay, I had already watermarked them for security. Now, I deleted 27 internal use-only documents and password-locked the remaining 6. The password was given only to a coworker friend who had submitted her notice and was leaving in 2 days. Timing was key. I executed the plan on a weekend when higher managers weren't present, ensuring maximum impact. I double-checked that no backups existed outside my control. Every step was strategic and calculated, not impulsive. While I was in the hospital, my family received relentless calls from management demanding passwords and locations of the missing documents. 5 times they called, but my family refused to cooperate, protecting my mental well-being. One manager even attempted to call the hospital, pretending to be a family member. The hospital staff, prepared for such deception, refused the call. My family had provided a strict list of approved contacts, making it impossible for the company to manipulate the situation. Even while confined to the hospital, I felt a small but satisfying sense of power. They tried to control me, but I was already steps ahead. 2 days after leaving the hospital, the company called. The manager responsible for most of my mistreatment picked up. Calmly, I told her the documents were gone for good, and the password-protected files were set to self-delete in a month. Panic entered her voice. She realized the gravity of the situation. I listened, then calmly said, "Thank you for the unemployment benefits," and hung up. It was quiet, but effective. The company realized they were completely dependent on my expertise, and I had removed that advantage. In the following weeks, the office descended into chaos. Managers struggled to recreate the documents I had perfected over years. Excel formulas broke, Word templates failed, and workflow efficiency dropped dramatically. Co-workers panicked as simple tasks became overwhelming. Hearing stories of management confusion brought a subtle satisfaction. I hadn't sought revenge to be cruel. I had sought to show them the cost of underestimating their employees. Even as I watched the chaos unfold, I thought about my own mental state. Living with bipolar disorder, borderline personality, PTSD, and social anxiety was a daily struggle. Flashbacks, panic attacks, and depressive episodes were frequent. But I also realized I had survived. I had faced emotional abuse, professional betrayal, and psychiatric crises, and walked away with my dignity intact. The revenge wasn't about cruelty. It was about reclaiming control and power. Months later, co-workers reached out, facing similar situations. They asked how I handled my exit and protected myself. I shared, document everything, emails, interactions, and tasks are your proof. Protect your knowledge. Your expertise is leverage. Plan carefully. Revenge is about strategy, not impulsivity. Prioritize mental health. No job is worth risking your life or well-being. Helping others navigate toxic workplaces gave me purpose and closure. Approximately 8 months after my departure, the branch I had worked at closed down due to mismanagement and employee complaints. Multiple employees reported harassment, unfair treatment, and unethical behavior. The irony was striking. The company that tried to break me had collapsed under its own toxicity. I didn't celebrate, but I felt quiet satisfaction, knowing that justice had been served indirectly. Looking back, my story is more than revenge. It's about intelligence over anger, strategy always beats impulsivity, documentation, and preparation. Protect yourself legally and morally. Knowing your worth. Don't let anyone manipulate. You prioritizing mental health, survival, and well-being matter more than any job. I walked away stronger, wiser, and with my dignity intact. Years later, I reflect on that period often. I am now on SSDI, living within my limitations, but free from toxic environments. I advise others to document, strategize, and protect themselves. The revenge I executed wasn't cruel. It was calculated justice, a way to reclaim control from those who tried to strip it away. If Ethan Parker's story inspired you, shocked you, or gave you a sense of satisfaction in seeing justice served, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts or experiences with workplace harassment, Sharing your story can empower someone else to take control of their life and protect themselves, just as I did.